Would you please stand? Welcome to Special Magistrate for July 23rd, 2026. If you wish to speak at today's hearing, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm to speak the truth at today's hearing? Thank you. You may be seated, and please silence all electronic devices.
Good morning, everyone. Our first case, page 42. Inspector Pat Gavin presenting case number CE 24100418, case address 1407 Northwest 15th Street, owner Godwin Francis. This case was first heard 5/29/25 to comply by 6/8/25 and 8/28/25. There are 4 suspensions noted on the agenda. 5 sections complied at $100 per day, $39,700 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
Good morning, sir. State your name for the record, please. Okay. Which one is this?
Press the button.
Is it this one?
The one that says press here. The button that says press here.
Oh, okay.
Sir, are you the owner?
No, sir.
What's your relationship to the owner?
His brother-in-law.
Okay.
Good morning, Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale, Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on May 29th, 2025. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct violations at this property by June 8th. For violation 1812A and August 28th, for violation 1812A, in compliance, and August 28, 25 for all other violations, or a fine of $100 per violation per day would be imposed. The ruling was ordered suspended during the periods of September 25th through November 6th, December 11th through January 29th, February 26th through April 30th, and April 30th through May 28th. Violation 1812A was brought into compliance on September 24th. It was out of compliance for 108 days with a fine of $10,800 currently due. Violation 9280B was brought into compliance on April 25th, was out of compliance for 91 days with a fine of $9,100 currently due. Violation 9280H1 was brought into compliance on November 14th. It was out of compliance for 36 days for a fine of $3,600. Violation 305B was brought into compliance on May 23rd. It was out of compliance for 91 days with a fine of $9,100 due. And violation 9-306 was brought into compliance on February 26th. It was out for 71 days with a fine of $7,100. The city is seeking the full imposition of fines in the amount of $39,700.
Yes, sir.
Well, we can't afford $39,000, so we want to find what's the best you can do.
Well, there's a mitigation. The property's in compliance now, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so there's a mitigation process you can apply for now that the property's in compliance to get the fine reduced. I suggest you do that.
Okay, and where do I go
And
to
the
do that?
staff can tell you how that works in the
Okay.
back. Talk to them. There's application forms.
All right, thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 48. Inspector Aleda Mesa, case number CE 25090694, case address 3050 Northeast 47th Court, owner Winston House Associates, Inc. This case was first heard 2/26/26 to comply by 7/23/26. One section not complied at $100 per day. Fine starts 7/24/26, and this is in order to reappear.
Morning, sir. State your name for the record.
It's
That's on.
Victor Carter.
Okay.
Officer Mesa, number 350 with the City of Fort Lauderdale's code compliance, presenting case CE 25090694, address 3050 Northeast 47th Court. This is a mandatory reappearance. An inspection of the property was conducted 10/3/25 with violations cited as follows. 9-306, the exterior of the building has not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted 7/22/26. Finding violation remained. City requests as follows. 9-306, mandatory reappearance, otherwise compliance within 139 days, or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. Due to the project's scope and anticipated duration, the city will permit extension at the reappearance as necessary.
Yes, sir.
I'm just here to answer any questions. We're in the middle of a long-term concrete restoration project. We've had the engineering study done. We've had the destructive testing done. We now need to do our due diligence to review the engineering study, have the engineering drawings made, put the project out for bid, and I'm afraid, it's going to be a long-term project. It probably won't be completed until the end of 2027. And the painting and the other cosmetic issues would be the last portion of that project.
What's the city's recommendation?
We understood the scope of the work, and it's going to be a long duration. That's why we requested the hearing as far out as possible, understanding we're going to likely do a reappearance at that point as well.
Well, I think as far as we can go is 139 days, according to my little sheet here. So that would be December 9th of this year. And then there'll be an order to reappear. I guess you can give us an update as to where you're at.
Okay.
Okay. The fine started, I'll suspend them until that period of time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 30, Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 26060265, case address 1004 Southwest 19th Street, owner Patrick Collins and Zachary Collins, posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Morning, ma'am. You state your name for the record, please.
Wendy Collins.
Okay. Yes.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Evan Oakes, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case CE 26060265 for property located at 1004 Southwest 19th Street. This case is a repeat violation of CE 24080611. Case CE 24080611 was first heard on 9/26/2024 for operating a vacation rental without a certificate. And the magistrate ordered 15 days to comply or $1,000 per day per violation thereafter. The violation came into compliance on January 25th, 2025, with the advertisements being deactivated. At the special magistrate hearing on January 30th, 2025, case CE 24080661 was presented to the magistrate for the imposition of fines that had accrued for a total of $8,000. On June 7, 2026, the property was found operating a short-term vacation rental again. This date, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department had to respond to a large gathering where fights had broken out, and the police department had to pepper spray guests to disperse them. Case CE 26060265 was opened for this repeat violation of operating without a certificate. On July 2nd, 2026, the property came into compliance again with the deactivation of all advertised listings. Under this case, re-inspections were conducted and the property was found to be out of compliance for the following dates: June 8th, June 11th, June 12th, June 17th, June 18th, June 23rd, June 24th, and June 25th, for a total of 8 days. The city is requesting the amount of fines to be imposed of $8,000.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm here representing my son, Zachary. He just had his firstborn son in Georgia. He's up there taking care of him. He represented himself in the previous special magistrate where $8,000 in fines were imposed. Since then, he's fought with the permitting company to get all the permits closed out, and they've taken forever. Closed Permits Fast, LLC. He has not advertised or hosted anybody besides his friends and family who have gone and stayed at the home free during this time. He is now selling the home because he's moving to Georgia with his son. We totally understand that your inspector saw that it was advertised on Airbnb and Vrbo, but that was through a property management. It has been paused. Just because it's visible doesn't mean it could be booked. It could not be booked. We are under contract at this point to sell the home and would appreciate if we can have the fines decreased.
Your Honor, I believe there's someone from the community that wants to be heard.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, can you
You
step aside?
Yes, indeed. My name is Ted and Sarah. I'm the president of the River Oak Civic Association. This house is a nightmare in our neighborhood. I stress you do not reduce any of these fines. The item that this gentleman was talking about with the 250 people, 14 police cars in a residential neighborhood, single-family residential neighborhood. I was walking my dog at 4 a.m. in the morning like I do every day, was almost run over by 2 cars speeding down in a narrow street with all single-family homes to get to this party. And then all of a sudden I'm still out there and police cars start coming from everywhere. Let me tell you, I live 10 houses away from this. I spoke to Whitney Dutton this morning on the Planning and Zoning Board, a well-known realtor. He said in his past, his firm, that the last 10 houses sold in River Oaks, 9 of them were to young families with small children. There's Croissant Park on this same street, 19th Street. Croissant Park Elementary is an A school. Families are moving into this neighborhood. And then we have this party house that is just continually just causing havoc in our neighborhood. I mean, if anything, I think the fine should be doubled. I don't think they should be reduced because it has caused major problems, in our neighborhood over and over and over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Special Magistrate,
Yes.
just for the record, Antoine Lowe, Co-Compliance Manager, we would oppose any reduction in fines. We increased these fines.
Well, I don't actually think what this looks like to me is a case in which I'm being asked to set the fine amount because there was a code violation. So there's the testimony of the city is uncontested. There's 8 separate days that the violation exists. That's uncontested, and the code provides for a fine of $1,000 each day, so I'll impose that fine. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well,
To the
you
mic.
can talk to staff. Actually, there's not really, you can talk to staff if you have questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case, page 34, Inspector Malik Jones, case number CE 2506-0468, case address 1030 Northwest 7th Terrace, owner Robert J. O'Leary. This case was first heard 2/26/26 to comply by 3/8/26, 3/13/26, and 4/30/26. 3 sections complied at $100 per day, $11,100 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
Good morning, sir. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Robert O'Leary.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Code Officer Malik Jones presenting on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale in reference to the case that was just read in. This case was presented to the Special Magistrate on February 26, 2026 in reference to the following violations. 18-12.A, complied. 47-20.20.H, complied. 6-5 point, complied. 9-305B, complied. 9-306, complied. 9-363, complied. The city is requesting the full amount to be imposed for $11,100.
Yes, sir.
When I first got the notice, I got it through my tenant because I don't live there, and they had it for over a month. I tried to do most of the compliance by myself to save money. When I got halfway through it, I was diagnosed with a debilitating disease, Parkinson's, and was unable to finish, and then had to find people to do it. I found people, but the last thing that had to be done was the driveway, and I just simply didn't have the funds to do it. And ultimately did it this past July.
Okay. The property's in compliance, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is a process now that it's in compliance where you can apply for mitigation of the fine. You can talk to staff in the back about that. I'm going to impose the fine, but you can apply for mitigation. They can reduce it usually pretty substantially.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case, page 11, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 2605-0007, case address 1808 Northwest 15th Court, owner Patricia Ann Moore, posted at property 71126, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
It's on.
It's on.
Patricia Moore,
Okay, thank you.
Bailey.
Yes.
Good morning. Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This property was first inspected on May 2nd and given time to correct for the following violations. 18-12A is complied. 24-27B is complied. 9-305B, the landscape of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-306 is complied. The city is requesting compliance within 35 days for the outstanding violation or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't foresee that the grass will grow back within 30 days. So I guess I request an extension of at least 60 to 90 days to allow the grass to grow back.
Yeah, are you going to try to use seeds?
Actually, we're looking to xeriscape, but even if we xeriscape, the time and with the
No,
seed,
you okay with 60 days?
I'm fine with it.
60 days.
63.
63 days. 63 days would be September 24th, or a fine of $50 a day. Good luck to you, ma'am.
so it's September 24th. Do I
Yeah.
need to call to come?
Yeah, you do. Once you've taken care of it, you need to check with the code officer and call and make sure that
I'll give you my information in the back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
had a question.
I'll let you talk to staff about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 48. Inspector Edward Eason, case number CE 23050197, case address 915 Southwest 2nd Court, owner Gary L. Musichuk and Stephanie Wedgeworth. This case was first heard 7/25/24. It's complied by 12/10/24. There are 4 suspensions noted on the agenda. 2 sections not complied to $50 per day, $1,200 accrued, and the fines continue to accrue.
Anybody here for this case? Good morning.
Hello, Gary Musichuk.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Edward Easton, City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case and address as read. At the special magistrate hearing on 3/26/26, the hearing, Special Magistrate Flynn granted a 119-day extension and in order to reappear at today's hearing. A notice of hearing was posted to the property on 7/2/26. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 7/21/26, and the property remained in violation. Due to the progress made with the grants obtained, the city is okay with granting a 139-day extension and a notice to reappear.
Yes. You okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll accept the city's recommendation, grant an extension of 100, how many days?
139.
139, which would take us to December 9th of this year. There'll be, or a fine of, I guess there's an existing fine amount. I'll suspend the fines during that period of time, and there'll be an order. You want an order to reappear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there'll be an order to reappear to come back and give us an update. Hopefully you'll be done by that.
I hope so. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Our next case, page 29. Inspector Wanda Aquavella, case number CE 26050951, case address 2513 East Las Olas Boulevard, owner Olas CD LLC, posted at property 7626, posted at Wendy's Broward 7826.
Good morning, sir. Can you state your name for the record,
Good morning,
please?
sir. Alfonso Joller.
Okay. Are you the owner?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, Wanda Aquavella for the city. Case and address is read. This property was initially inspected on 6/1/26 and the following violation was discovered. 15-272A. This property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city of Fort Lauderdale. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on July 21st, 2026, where a check of Numo, the site we go to, revealed that the advertisement has not been taken down. The property did pass a vacation rental inspection on 7/13/26, but the vacation rental certificate was not issued due to an outstanding balance on the account. The city is requesting 15 days to come into compliance or a fine of $1,000 per day thereafter.
Yes, sir.
I paid already all the everything I had to pay, and I have the certificates right now for both properties.
Okay.
For this one, sorry.
When did you do that?
I did it about
a week ago, once we had the inspection.
Okay, well, I looked on the 21st and
Because
it wasn't.
maybe
in
I'll
the computer
table
yet.
it, you can take a look at it and see if you're.
Magistrate, Supervisor Brown, City of Fort Lauderdale. This has been ongoing, and perhaps maybe you're confused about the fees that you paid, because I am aware that you paid the application fees. However, there was an outstanding balance on a prior code case where fees were owed. So we would not issue a certificate if you owe any fines or fees from any other cases. I know you did the inspection, but.
I currently have the certificates on my phone.
So you just did this recently?
You know what, I'm going to
Give them the
table it.
time.
You
Yeah.
guys can take a look and tell me, maybe you can sort it out. We'll table it temporarily.
Our next case, page 49, Inspector Guy Siderman, case number CE 26030868, case address 1709 Northwest 8th Court, owner Mariam Poleto Jimenez and John Carlos Cardenas. This case was first heard 5/28/26, complied by 7/23/26. 5 sections not complied at $100 per day. Fine starts 7/24/26, and this is a request for extension.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
I was applying to the CRA
No,
program.
I need your name.
My name is Giancarlo Cardenas.
Okay, let me hear from the city first.
Name, case, and address as read at the special magistrate hearing on 5/28/2026. Special magistrate duty ordered at 56 days to comply or $100 per day per violation thereafter. Notice of the hearing was posted on 7/14/2026. At my pre-hearing inspection was done on 7/20/2026, and at the time, no violations have been brought up to compliance. The city is okay granting a 139-day extension with a stay of fines due to the fact that the property owner received a grant to finish the work. Also, we would request an order to reappear.
I think that's what you're seeking, right?
Okay. I applied for the CRA. I just received the completely approved yesterday. So I was talking with him because I need more time to do everything because
What the city's recommending is 139 days, which would be until December 9th, and to suspend the fines during that period of time. They're also looking for an order to reappear, which would require you to come back and tell us how you're doing.
Okay.
All right, so that's what the order will be. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you have something?
Our next case, page 31, Inspector Guy Siderman, case number CE 25010522, case address 648 Northwest 22nd Road, owner Grimaldi Weiss Management LLC. This case was first heard at 1/13/26, complied by 2/3/26 and 3/11/26. There is one suspension from 5/28/26 to 7/23/26. 2 sections not complied at $100 per day. $19,300 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue. This is in order to reappear.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
State your name for the record, please.
Jordan Grimaldi, owner of Grimaldi Weiss Management, LLC.
Right from the city, please.
Name, case, and address as read at the special magistrate hearing on 5/28/2026. Hearing, special magistrate duty granted a 56-day extension and an order to reappear on 7/23/26. Property was posted on 6/18/2026. My pre-hearing inspection was done on 7/2/2026, and the property remains in violation. The city is requesting full imposition of fines, which continue to accrue. The representative is here to request an extension. The city would not be opposed of a 63-day extension. There were permits that were put in there, and they are working on them.
Okay, what about the violation 1812C, trash and debris? Is that still outstanding? Am I looking at the right case?
Correct. There was trash there last time I went to do my rehearing, but there was a bulk trash. Every time we get a large amount of bulk trash in that area, it's pretty bad. I've always had contact with the property owner representative, and they've come by and taken care of that.
Okay. So you're okay with an extension of 63 days with an order to reappear? Is that what I heard?
Correct. Yes, sir.
We're in agreement, sir.
Okay. All right, I'm going to extend the time for compliance 63 days. That would be September 24th, and I'll suspend the fines during that period of time.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, officer.
Recalling the case on page 29, Inspector Wanda Aquila, case number CE 26050951.
Wanda Aquavilla for the city. Okay, Your Honor, he does have a certificate. It was issued 2 days ago. I'm just simply now, I'm going to ask for a finding of fact that the violation did exist.
Okay, what page is that again? Where we, I know.
Page 29, 2513.
That was for 15272
All right,
being utilized without
I'll
vacation.
find that the property is currently in compliance. There'll be no fine amount. For the record, I'll make a finding of fact that the violation did occur. But again, there's no fine amount.
Thanks, sir.
And I guess the idea is if it were to happen again, the fine amounts could be greater.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 36. Inspector Mohammed Dayam, case number CE 25110602. Case address Southwest 28th Street, owner 28 Southwest 2nd LLC. This case was first heard 2/26/26 to comply by 3/13/26 and 5/28/26. One section complied at $100 per day, $900 accrued. Two sections not complied at $100 per day, $11,200 accrued, for a total of $12,100. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Yes, sir.
Hi. Good morning. My name is John. I'm the property owner. Just want to give you just a brief backdrop.
Let me hear from the city first.
I need to read the case first.
Hey, Mo.
Which one is it?
Good morning. This is Mohammed Dam, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. The case was first heard on February 26, 2026 by Special Magistrate duty. The magistrate granted 15 days to comply for violation 18-12A and 91 days for violations 15-28 and 47-19.9.A.4.D, or a fine of $100 per day per violation thereafter. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on July 18, 2026. The property remains in violation. The city is requesting to impose fines as follows. $5,600 for 56 days, violation 15-28 is out of compliance and for fines to continue to accrue. $900 for the 9 days violation 18-12A was out of compliance from March 14, 2026 through March 22nd, 2026. And $5,600 for the 56 days violation 47-19.9.A.4.D is out of compliance and for fines to continue to accrue. Total fines to be imposed is $12,100.
Yes, sir.
Just as a bit of a backdrop, the property existed for about 50 years in its state, storing property of business assets of the property owner. We acquired the property in late 2025, and I didn't change any element to the property at all, and then suddenly I'm being hit with fines and penalties from the city of Fort Lauderdale relating to its condition for the prior 50 years. So I'm a property owner trying to catch up with history. We have worked diligently to resolve all of the violations. We are at this last violation, and I believe it has to do with the city ordinance of storing merchandise outside.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead, sir.
Wait a minute. Make sure that we're on the right one here. What I have is watercraft repair business at this location. Is that one of the violations?
Yes.
That's not correct, sir.
And the other one is watercraft repair and storage area located on this I-zone property?
That's not correct either, sir.
Wait a minute. This is an order that's already been heard, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't in town at the time, sir.
Okay, but there is a process, and if the order needed to be appealed, and it wasn't appealed.
I've been speaking to Mo these past several months, and Mo has counseled me to show up today.
Well, I'm not telling you not to show up. What I'm saying is, I think it's too late to contest the underlying violations. They've already been found. What I have is the authority to give you additional time to bring it into compliance, which I'm inclined to do.
Okay.
But I need to know how much time you need.
Well, and so whatever the decision was in February of 26 is now
final, because there's an appeal process. And once the appeal process runs, the order's final.
And so that appeal process has exhausted itself.
Yeah, it's 30 days.
Even though Mo was telling me to show up today for the purpose of contesting.
Because what they're looking to do is to impose the fine. So what I'm suggesting, you need more time to bring it into compliance. I'm asking you how much time you need.
I would need engineering. I believe I would need 6 months.
Magistrate.
Yeah.
Supervisor Brown, City, Fort Lauderdale. The city would not be opposed to a 91-day extension and a reappearance.
Yeah, what they're suggesting is that you would be given until October 22nd, and then in order to reappear, and you can give an update as to where you're at.
No problem.
But I do want you to understand there are existing fines that are going to have to be dealt with after the property's brought into compliance.
Understand.
But, all right, I'll grant an extension of 91 days, which would be October 22nd, and there would be an order to reappear on that date, and you can tell us where you're at.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Just for the record, the violations are the surface and the BTR, the business tax receipt.
I
There is still
You know what?
violations.
I'll let you guys talk. Why don't you go in the back, and you can inform each other of how it's going.
Our next case, page 19. Inspector Ramon Oliveira, case number CE 26060168, case address 1413 Southwest 19th Avenue. Owner John Frazier and Brenda Frazier. Posted at property 7326, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Morning, sir. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Devon Frazier.
Okay.
Ramon Oliveira, Code Officer for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case and address as read. The property was first inspected on June 4th, 2026, and the following violation was observed. 47-34.4.B.1. There is overnight parking of a commercial vehicle at this RSA zone property. The vehicle is described as a 6-wheel commercial vehicle with company logos and the word Paradise Cuisine, Grand Papa Red's Good Food, and telephone number printed on the side. As of pre-hearing inspection conducted on July 16, 2026, the property remains in violation. The city is requesting 15 days to come into compliance of section 47-34.4.B.1 or a fine of $100 per day thereafter until compliance is met.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I just need to ask for 30 days instead of 15.
You opposed to 30?
The city's not opposed.
All right. Actually,
35.
35. They have their prearranged dates here. So it'll be 35 days, which would be August 27th, 2026, or a fine of $100 a day.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case, page 4. Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 26040706, case address 900 Northwest 6th Street, owner FPA 2 LLC, posted at property 7826, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Good morning.
Good
Stephanie
morning. State
Mayorga.
your name for the record, please.
Good morning. Stephanie Mayorga with Stephanie Toothaker's office on behalf of the property owner.
Okay.
Good morning, Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale, Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This property was first inspected on April 22nd, 26, and given time to correct for the following violations. 15-28. The following businesses are listed as operating at this location but have not obtained their business tax receipt as required by the city. 15133 Amsterdam Avenue, LLC, 3280 Grand, LLC, 6 Northwest Holdings, FTL, LLC, 6 West Apartments, LLC, 606 Northwest 8th Avenue, LLC, 6th on Powerline, LLC, 723 Northwest 6th Avenue, LLC, All Wheel Sales Incorporated, Aquaview Technologies Corp., As Torren Inc., As Torren Manager, LLC, Black Hawk Surveillance Inc., Black Hawk Technologies FL Corp. has been complied, Blueprint Recording, LLC, Brickle House CU, LLC, Coastline Investments, LLC, Elkabest, LLC, Elper RE, LLC, Everclean Auto Care, LLC is complied. FPA 2 LLC, Fuse 10 LLC, Fuse 17 LLC, Fuse 18 LLC, Fuse 9 LLC, Fuse Financing LLC, Fuse Funding LLC, Fuse Group Company has been complied. Fuse Management LLC, Green Team Ventures LLC is complied. Greenwich Studio North Miami LLC, Heritage Crossing Development Company Manager LLC, ISM Group LLC, Lyad Investment House LLC, Nug Hut Corp. is complied. OSC Met Investment LLC is complied. Pagosa Asset SPV LLC, Powerline South Holdings LLC, Prima Luce Lender Asset SPV LLC, Provident Fort Lauderdale LLC, Provident Market 1937 is complied. REL Partners LLC, Royal Estates Realty, LLC, SB Spaces, LLC, Security Building Miami, LLC, Sistrunk Roasters, LLC has complied, Sobe Lifestyle Group, LLC has complied, Stable Vision, LLC, State of Mind Spaces, LLC, Sunshine Shipyard 2, LLC, Sunshine Shipyard, LLC, The Andre at Delray Beach, LLC, The Coffee Bodega, LLC, Tolles Garden Lender Asset SPV, LLC, Virtus Realty Group, LLC, We Are JCHG, LLC, and Westland Funding, LLC. 47-22.9, signs have been erected without the required permits from the City of Fort Lauderdale on this NWRAC-MUW zoned commercial property. There are window signs for Provident 1937 Market, Everclean, and Checkmate Barbershop without permits. All signs must have permits. The City is requesting compliance within 63 days or a fine of $100 per day per violation thereafter.
Sorry, how much was the fine amount? 100?
100.
Yes, ma'am.
We would appreciate the 63-day extension and hold of fines. Some, as the inspector noted, some of the entities have already applied for the BTR and received one, but most of these are passive holding entities, and we're expecting an interpretation from the city whether those require BTRs. And then as for the sign permit, that's been applied for, and we're responding to comments.
All right, I find that the violation exists. There doesn't seem to be a dispute. The respondent will be given 63 days to come into compliance, which would be September 24th, or face a fine of $100 a day. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 7. Inspector Aleda Mesa, case number CE 26040086, case address 2948 East Commercial Boulevard, owner B&RP Investments LLC, posted at property 7326, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Good morning. State your name for the record, please.
Good morning. Jonathan Lewis with Siler Zayden Walbrink for actually the tenant on the property.
Tenant property, okay.
Code Compliance Officer Mesa, number 350 for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 26040086, address 2948 East Commercial Boulevard. An inspection of the property was conducted 4/4/26 with violations cited as follows: 24-29A complied, 25-24 or 25-43A. The right-of-way sidewalk has been modified on the CB zoned property without first obtaining an engineering permit. There is artificial turf on the sidewalk. 47-22.6F complied, 47-22.9 complied, 47-34.1A1. There is illegal land use of outdoor storage occurring at the CB zone property. There is outdoor storage including but not limited to carts, furniture, kegs, gas tanks, boxes, mops, basketball hoop, tents, and metal drums from the rear, along with pavers near the front of the building on the east side. 9-306 complied. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted 7/22/26, finding violation remains. The city requests as follows: 25-43A, compliance within 35 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. 47-34.1A1, compliance within 15 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you. We would, and I believe Mr. Seiler spoke with the inspector earlier this morning, we would just request 30 days to bring the outdoor storage issue into compliance and 45 days for the other issue to be brought into compliance. The tenant was out of the country in Ireland until just recently, so she's coming back and just getting her arms around this. Mr. Seiler was also out of the country and just returned yesterday. That's why I'm here for him. So we're working to bring it into compliance. We just request 30 and 45 days if possible.
City opposed?
Good morning. Supervisor Cloyne with the City of Fort Lauderdale. The outdoor storage, we would definitely oppose that. I mean, obviously, there's not much to do. 15 days is plenty of time to get rid of that storage.
It's just that stuff there, right, basically?
Correct.
Okay. How about the, what were you requesting on the artificial turf?
At 45 days.
Oppose the 45 days on the artificial turf?
It was actually removed. I believe that there's some glue or some adhesive that is left. I'm not sure what needs,
It's
yes, on that
adhesive
picture
that's
right
remaining. They did pull up the artificial turf. I granted 35 days to give them some time to determine the best route to remove the remaining adhesive.
Yeah, we just don't know right now, and so we want to account for the possibility that it's going to take a little bit longer.
Well, basically, you just got to pick up the stuff in the back and take care of the adhesive on the driveway, on the sidewalk, which makes some sense to me. I think 35 days to do that makes some sense, and 15 days for the other violation makes some sense as well, or a fine of $100 a day. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Magistrate.
Our next case, page 13, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 26040241, case address 2200 Southwest 32nd Terrace, owner is Yitzhak and Elaine Haim, posted at property 7926, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Good morning. State your name for the record, please.
Elaine Heim.
Okay.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 26040-241 for the property located at 2200 Southwest 32 Terrace. This case was first cited on April 14, 2026 for the following violation. 47-21.15.A.1 is complied. There was a jacaranda tree removed without a permit from this property. This case will be brought before the special magistrate to request the imposition of fines in the amount of $1,000 per tree for this irreparable and irreversible violation. If this violation is repeated within a 12-month period, fines may be imposed in the amount of $2,000 per tree. 47-21.16.A is complied. 9-306 is complied. The city is seeking a fine of $1,000 for violation 47-21.15.A.1 for the irreparable and irreversible nature of the violation.
Yes, ma'am.
So we were just wanting to know if it could be reduced, 1,000. And I did ask for a mitigation plan, but they said that that would be up to you to decide if the fine could be reduced. We really didn't know. I mean, honestly, not that ignorance is a defense, but, we replaced the trees, we went with the permitting, I mean, we worked with Mr. Flesher, we did.
I do, but if I start to go down the road, people say I didn't know. I mean, that's going to bind me in almost every case. I'm going to have to reduce, and I don't want to go down that road, so I'm going to impose the fine. I can give you some time. How much time do you need to pay?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it, but it's okay. We'll pay it.
30 days?
Yes. So the fine is $3,000?
The city's asking for $1,000.
$1,000.
$1,000.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was the wrong page number.
Okay, what's next?
Sorry. Go ahead. Ready? Yes. Our next case, page 12, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 26050237, case address 1500 Northwest 18th Court, owner Dash Project Inc., posted at property 7826, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Morning, ma'am. You state your name for the record, please.
Sonia Agarwal.
Good morning. Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This property was first inspected on May 8th and given time to correct for the following violations. 18-12A, there is overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and or its swale. This is a repeat violation per previous case CE 24031025, and fines will begin to accrue immediately and schedule for a special magistrate hearing whether or not the property is brought into compliance. 18-4C is complied. This is also a repeat violation for case CE 24031025. 47-341A1, there is illegal land use occurring at this property. There is outdoor storage, including but not limited to chairs, couch, and miscellaneous items. This is not permitted per the ULDR of this RS8 zone single-family residence. 9280H1, the wooden fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. The fence has broken and missing panels. This is a repeat violation per previous case CE 24031025, and fines will begin to accrue immediately and schedule for a special magistrate hearing whether or not the property is brought into compliance. 9-305B, the landscape of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. This is a repeat violation per previous case CE 24031025, and fines will begin to accrue immediately and schedule for a magistrate hearing whether or not property is brought into compliance. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. The city is requesting the following. For violation 1812A, fines of $100 per day for the dates of May 8th, May 20th, May 27th, June 18th, and July 20th, which are days that the property was inspected, with fines continuing to accrue. For violation 18-4C, fines of $100 per day for the dates of May 8th, May 20th, May 27th, and June 18th, which are days that the property was inspected. For violation 47-341A1, compliance within 15 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. For violation 9280H1, fines of $100 per day from May 8th, 26th, the day the violation was first witnessed, until today, with fines continuing to accrue for a total of 77 days. For violation 9-305B, fines of $100 per day from May 8th, the day the violation was first witnessed, until today, with fines continuing to accrue a total of 77 days. And for violation 9-306, compliance within 35 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
What was the last one, 306?
306 is compliance within 35 days or a fine of $100 per day.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I would just ask if I could, two things. If I could get a very brief extension of time to bring everything into compliance, and then if we could do one of those rehearings where we can just confirm that everything's in compliance. And when I said a brief extension, I'm talking less than a month, 2-3 weeks.
Can I see the pictures?
I ask because a lot
Yes,
of
ma'am.
these...
I'm sorry. I need to look at the pictures. Okay. When was this case heard? This is the first time it's come back. There's a repeat violation, right?
Right. 3 of them are repeat violations. 2 of them are not. So the repeats go back to 2024.
May.
Well, May was when this case was first started. Yes.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
Your Honor, good morning. Supervisor Cologne with the City of Fort Lauderdale. I just wanted to, for the record, myself and the previous code manager, Katrina, actually went out to this property before for the other cases, the previous cases, and we talked to her for a long time. We made sure that she understood everything, how to comply everything. We spent a lot of time discussing that. I don't know if she remembers me.
When was that?
One of the previous cases, I'm not sure. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe the 2024. Yes. So
is the I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted that for the record. Just so you.
Is the property occupied?
Not full-time, no.
Who lives there?
I go and visit the property, which is why I said it's not occupied.
Do you have a tenant there?
No.
Well, you said it's occupied, not occupied. Who's occupying it then?
I go visit the property sometimes.
Okay, where do you live?
In Boynton Beach.
Okay.
For the most part, it is vacant. Also, most of these are currently complied, which is
Actually,
why...
none of them are compliant.
Well, all the vehicles currently all have license plates. They've all been repaired. They're all complied. The grass the grass now has...
Well, are the vehicles complied?
Yeah, the 18-4C is complied.
Okay.
And for the grass cutting, the property now has a grass cutter person who comes every 2 weeks or so, and so that's been maintained. There are portions, like in the front by the sidewalk, But that was from when the city was working on the sidewalk, and we have videos and photos where the city said that as part of their project, they would fix everything they dug.
That's the 15th Avenue side you're talking about.
Yeah, that's why I said in this exact picture, if you look.
That's not a violation that we cited for.
Understood. Oh, so then all the other parts of the grass and the landscaping, that's currently being
But
maintained?
it's the fence.
The fence has not been complied yet, and that's why I
Right.
said, could I just get maybe 2 weeks or less, whatever you think is best, to comply the fence? The fence has not been complied.
Magistrate, Supervisor Brown, in regards to granting additional time for the fence, since it is a repeat violation, we are asking for fines to be imposed at this hearing. And because of the repeat nature from the violations, we're opposed to granting any additional times that we've requested for the violations that were not repeat violations.
Can I ask a question? Is the fence the only one that's outstanding, that's a repeat violation?
The fence is outstanding. The
Landscaping,
The landscaping is being, like if you were to drive by now, it's being maintained every week or two. The landscaper comes by.
there's dead and missing ground cover.
Right.
Okay, I'm not going to grant any additional time, except for violation 309-306, that's 35 days, right? Is that the only one that's not a repeat violation?
No, there's also the 4734-1, the outdoor storage.
Yeah, it's 15 days for
That's
that.
15 days. That's just to
All right,
remove
all right.
the.
I'm going to find that the violations
I've already
exist. Just a minute, I'm sorry. I'm going to find that the violations exist. The respondent will be given 15 days for 4734-1A1 or a fine of $100 a day. 35 days for 9-306, that's the exterior walls. And I'll find that the other violations reoccurred on May 8th and that the fine of $100 a day started on those respective dates. Thank you, ma'am.
Magistrate, may I ask for the inspector just to repeat the dates for each violation so we can make sure we have it correct?
For the fines?
For the fines, yes.
Yeah, for
please.
1812A was May 8th, May 20, May 27, June 18, and July 20. And for 184C, May 8, May 20, May 27, and June 18.
Okay.
And then 928H1 and 9305B are from 5/8 until today
Okay.
and continuing.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you in the back.
Our next case, page 31. Inspector David Goodrum Jr., Bernstein Sandberg, presenting case number CE 2510-0538, case address 1004 North Rio Vista Boulevard, owner Georgette Sosa Douglas. This case was first heard 1/13/26 and complied by 3/10/26. One suspension from 5/28/26 to 7/25/26. One section complied at $50 per day, $3,950 accrued. The city is requesting admin costs of $884.
Good morning. My name is Georgette Douglas. I reside at 1004 North Rio Vista Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale.
Good morning. Inspector Bernstein Sandberg for the City of Community Enhancement, presenting in behalf of David Goodrum, presenting case CE 25100538, property address at 100 North Rio Vista Boulevard. As of today, all violations are in compliance. The city is requesting administrative costs of $884.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to ask if the court has the discretion to lower those administrative fines a bit. I am retired. I live alone in the house, and there were a lot of repairs to be done, and I expended a lot of money. So if that's any possibility, I would appreciate it.
Special Magistrate.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit deaf. Thank you. Is that all?
Yes.
Yes. And how do I find out how to do that? All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Our next case, page 29, Inspector Wanda Aquavella, case number CE 26060882, case address 3317 Northeast 16th Court, owner 3317 Northeast 16th Court LLC. posted at property 7/126, posted at 1 East Broward 7/826. Where's Wanda?
Good morning. Brendan Sweeney here on behalf of the property owner. I also have the responsible party's wife here, Mrs. Vile, as well.
Sorry about that. Wanda Aquavella for the city. Which one is it? Okay. Wanda Aquavella for the city, KCE 260608882. Address is 3317 Northeast 16 Court. This property was initially inspected on March 21st, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 18-282D1. There are 3 violations of the city's ordinance which constitute a request for a 180-day suspension of the vacation rental certificate. Case number CE 2510-0135, and the violations are 15-278-1E, parking not within the driveway, 15-275-5, responsible party failed to respond, and 17-7.10.A, noise violation, non-amplified sound. The fines were paid. The city is requesting the full 180-day suspension of the vacation rental certificate.
We're seeking a postponement if possible. The responsible party here who has all the knowledge, Mr. DiAndriano, he's away on a family vacation in Montreal. I have his wife here. You know, we're taking this very serious. She's the caretaker to their 15 and 5-year-old children, so she does not have as much information regarding this. Should the board wish to proceed forward? Yes, sir.
This is about prior cases that have already taken place.
I understand. I understand that, and I understand the appeal.
So I'm not quite sure what that person would argue. We're not going to go back into the fact to talk about whether the violation existed or not. That's done. So I'm not quite sure what the. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what the continuance would accomplish.
It would be if you would need any information from him. I'm going to have limited information from her. Should you wish to proceed forward, you know, I'm prepared to go. It's just we have limited information. That's it.
Well, I'm inclined to grant somebody a continuance if there's good faith. I mean, I'm not quite sure what's accomplished. What is it that your argument is going to focus on?
Well, we are taking proactive steps at this juncture, and I can tell you I was retained on Tuesday evening. We looked at all the violations. I've looked at it, my associate as well. We've been working on this since we've been retained. They have a very, very good long rental history, over a year at that residence. This is all one isolated incident on March 21st.
Okay.
One tenant. The one tenant had this happen. If you look at their record has been fine thus far. There have been issues, and I need to be frank with the board. There are issues right now with their trash cans. They've had their trash cans stolen. The trash cans get taken from where the house is. So we're actually in the process right now of retaining a new company to address the trash cans. I understand these violations are there.
Yeah, but, okay, I'm sorry. I don't really see if I have much discretion in this. The code says that if there are existing violations, that the suspension is 180 days. So I do have some latitude in terms of when it would be imposed. I could give you a period of time to prepare for it.
That would be appreciated. And the reason is because it is an Airbnb rental,
right.
And they do have bookings.
How much time would you need?
As much as the board's willing to provide. It's my understanding that you're booked out through the year. Is that right?
No, well,
but I'm not asking through the year. I'm just letting.
I mean, I could give you 90 days to prepare for it, but that's the most I can do.
Special Magistrate.
Yeah.
Just for your record, the community at large has opposed to us giving that amount of time. Is usually 30 days is what's typical.
All right.
Obviously, you have the discretion, but what we hear from the community is that's a lot of time for suspension to start.
I do want to make it clear my client is taking proactive steps. My client was the responsible party. He has no notification. I'm not arguing the violations, by the way. I just want to give a little context. He has no record of being contacted. I'm very familiar with this 3 strikes law. I essentially told him, you need to get a property manager, professional property manager, and you need to get him like yesterday. We're in the process of retaining a property manager. With respect to the noise violation, I know there was no decibel.
I don't want to go down that road. We've been there. Here's the deal. Look, I'm sympathetic to your argument, but here's the deal. I'm going to be consistent since I'm going to be in this position often probably. So there is 3 existing violations which the code provides for 180 days suspension. I'll grant you 30 days before that goes into effect.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you for your time.
Folks.
Our next case, page 47. Inspector Ramon Oliveira, case number CE 25090054, case address 118 Southwest 24th Avenue, owner Edna Charlemagne and Eden Charlemagne. This case was first heard at 129.26 to comply by 213.26 and 226.26. One section complied at $50 per day, $4,900 accrued. One section not complied at $50 per day, $7,350 accrued for a total of $12,250. The city is requesting the full amount and the fines continue to accrue.
I'm sorry. Good morning, ma'am. State your name for the record, please.
Good morning, Edna Charlemagne.
Okay.
Ramon Oliveira, Code Officer for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case and address as read. The case was heard on January 29, 2026, where Special Magistrate Flynn ordered 15 days to comply, Section 47-34.1.8.1, and 35 days to comply violations 9-304B and 9-305B, or a daily fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter until compliance is met. Violation 47-34.1.8.1 complied on February 13, 2026. Violation 9-304B complied on June 4th, 2026, and was out of compliance for 98 days. Violation 9-305B complied on July 17, 2026, and was out of compliance for 141 days. As of July 17, 2026, the property is in compliance. The city is seeking full imposition of fines in the amount of $11,950.
Do we have the right? I have 12,000 on my agenda. 12,250 was the fine amount that I have.
If it would have ran until today, but it was complied on July 17, 2026. So for 9-305B, it was 141 days at $7,050. And for violation 9-304B, that complied on June 4th, 2026, it was out of compliance 98 days for
instead of 12,000, it's roughly 11,000, right?
Correct. 11,950.
Yes, ma'am.
I am not aware of none of the fine. The only fine that I was aware, which is I closed it, was for the gate, the fines that I made, which is I already paid those fines for the fines, so the back fines.
Was there a prior case for offense?
I'm not aware. There may be a building case for the fence, but we have not imposed any fines regarding this case here.
Yeah, this is a different case. I don't have anything about offense.
So I'm not aware of those until I received the letter on the door. So.
Yeah. Well, they posted the property. Yeah. The case was first heard back in January of this year. So I'm going to impose the fine. The property is currently in compliance. There's a mitigation process now that it's in compliance that you can apply to get the fine reduced, and you can talk to staff about how you do that.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
The ladies in the back can help you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 32, Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 25120679, case address 1328 Cordova Road, owner 1328 Cordova FLLC. This case was first heard 2/26/26 to comply by 3/26/26. One section not complied at $500 per day, $4,000 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Good morning. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Sarah Dorfman.
Are you the owner?
Property manager.
Property manager, okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Inspector Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case CE 25120679 for property located at 1328 Cordova Road. This case was first heard on February 26, 2026. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct violations at this property by March 26, 2026 for violation 15-281A, or $500 per day thereafter to be imposed. For violation 15-281A, the property was inspected a total of 8 times since the fines began to accrue. And the fines began to accrue on March 27, 2026. The property was not in compliance on the following dates: March 27th, April 4th, April 11th, June 6th, June 18th, July 2nd, July 14th, and July 22nd. At this time, the violation is still not complied. The city is requesting the amount of fines to be imposed of $4,000 since the fine was found to be in violation a total of 8 days, with fines continuing to accrue.
So is the problem that they're still advertising it?
Well,
Just a minute, I'm sorry, I need to hear from the city. Let me hear from the city.
Yes, sir. They're still advertising it, and they've been trying to get their application. They put the application in, but it was submitted with the wrong LLC out of state. And as of yesterday, Ms. Dorfman, she sent in her correct LLC registered with the state of Florida. So the vacation rental office will start reviewing the application again probably today.
But the issue would have been to take the ad
Yes, sir.
down
Yes, sir.
while that's all being processed.
so the last time that we were here, I was unaware of the ad situation. My mother was with me also, so I don't know where that happened, but I understand that you guys need to do what you need to do. The last time that we were here, we asked for a short extension. When we originally submitted for the file to be renewed, or originally renewed, because we've had this property now about 10 years, they switched it from an FLP ownership to an LLC. I was under the impression that we could still go through with the renewal. The denials that we were getting through Lauderdale weren't very clear. So then we finally decided to reach out.
Well, the
directly
problem,
via
though,
email.
I know those are all the technical things and how you bring it into compliance, but the problem is that the ad was running. That's what they're giving me.
I must have missed that part in the last meeting, but now we are registered with Florida, and it took about 3 months to get this done with Sunbiz because we also had fines to pay with them for operating a business in Florida that wasn't an entity in Florida too.
Okay. All right. I'm going to impose the fine. When it comes into compliance, you can apply for mitigation of the fine amount. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case, page 16, Inspector Ramon Oliveira, case number CE 26020413, case address 708 Southwest 24th Avenue, owner 707 Seabold LLC, posted at property 7326, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Morning, ma'am. State your name for the record,
Morning,
please.
Anna Lara. I'm the property management company.
Okay.
Ramon Oliveira, Code Officer for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 260-20413 for the property located at 708 Southwest 24th Avenue. The case was first inspected on February 18, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 18-1, complied. There are items stored under the carport of this RSA zone property that is creating a public nuisance. The items stored under the carport include, but is not limited to, boxes, bags, cardboard, items wrapped in plastic, and other miscellaneous items. This is a recurring violation to case CE 221-00136. 18-4.c, complied. 9-304B, complied. The driveway is not being maintained. The gravel driveway apron has grass growing through it and bare areas of missing gravel. Furthermore, the paved driveway strips are stained with a black substance. This is a recurring violation to case CE 221-00136. 9-305B, complied. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover on the property and swale. This is a recurring violation to case CE 221-00136. 9-306, complied. There are areas of the fascia that is stained with a black substance and has missing faded paint. This is a recurring violation to case CE 221-00136. 9-363, complied. As of April 24, 2026, the property is in full compliance. The city is seeking a finding of fact for recurring violations 18-1, 9-304B, 9-305B.
Wait. Okay. 18-1.
9-304B.
Okay.
9-305B.
Okay.
and 9-306.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Anything you want to say? Basically, what they're saying is the property is currently in compliance. They want a determination that the violations did exist, so that if it were to happen again, there could be greater fine amounts and less time to comply. So I'll make those findings. I'll find a finding of fact that the violations did exist. That would be 18-1-9-304B, 9-305B, and 9-306. There'll be no fine.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 30, Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 26050952, case address 412 Southeast 22nd Street, numbers 1 through 4, owner Lauderdale Breeze Villas LLC, posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Good morning. State your name for the record, please.
Patel Wayne.
Are you the owner?
Yes.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 26050952, property address 412 Southeast 22nd Street, numbers 1-4. This property was initially inspected on May 30th, 2026, and the following violation was observed. 15-272A, this property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Wednesday, July 17, 2026, and the following violation remains. 15-272A, as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 15 days to comply or a fine of $1,000 per day thereafter to be imposed.
Yes, ma'am.
I was approved by the city. I'm just waiting for the business tax, I believe, which I will pay. I heard from Inspector Oakes that I just need to deactivate all my listings by the 19th, which I did. The Casamunda that I was, your secretary told me yesterday, I'm not on Casamunda. It's from Expedia. It's like it takes right from Expedia. So even though I deactivated on Expedia and I do have the paperwork, it still shows up on Casamunda, but it's not actually available to book.
I know.
All the dates. So I called, I have text messages with Casamunda, but I'm not a client of theirs. I never advertised on there. So I'm asking them to take it off, and they don't understand who I am. So I permanently closed it yesterday on Expedia, and I have that also in messages, but they said it takes a day or two to permanently close it rather than deactivating.
Since you permanently close it on Expedia, when on the other site it'll disappear?
Yeah, but it takes a day or two even for that.
They're looking to give you 15 days.
Okay.
All right, which would be August 7th.
Okay.
But stay on top of it, because I've done this a little bit, and I keep hearing about these sites that pop up the ads. So you got to make sure you comprehensively shut them down. Okay.
Yes, I permanently closed it.
Would be what, $100 a day?
$1,000 a day.
Well, okay. So you got to make sure you get it down.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case, page 43, Inspector Pat Gavin, presenting case number CE 25100621, case address 1531 Northwest 12th Street, owner Donald James. This case was first heard at 12926 to comply by 21326 and 32626.
Morning, sir. State your name for the record, please.
Donald James.
Thank you.
Good morning, Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on January 27, 2025, and the magistrate ordered violations 9-306 and 9-305B to be complied by February 13, 26, and all others to be complied by March 26, 26. This ruling was ordered to be suspended for the period of May 12, 26 through June 9, 26. Violation 47-341.A.1 was complied on July 10th and was out of compliance for 119 days with a fine of $11,900. Violations 9305B and 9306 are both still out of compliance and have been for a total of 90 days with a fine due of $9,000 each. The city is seeking full imposition of fines in the amount of $29,900 with fines continuing to accrue.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just come in here because I have to show up, but I want to escalate this to the mayor, to the governor, whoever it may be. I've been trying to contact them, and I spoke to a lady in the city. Okay, another lady was on vacation, but I want to escalate this higher. So I need information from you guys to escalate this.
I think what you mean is appeal it, right?
Appeal, escalate, whichever way you want to say it.
Appeal would be the verb.
It don't matter to me, whichever you say it. Because if my opinion, the compliance people has not did their job over the course of 10 to 12 years. I know you don't want to go back because you said it the other time I came down here, May the 12th. You said, when I explained to you how the city, when I was living there, you say, I'm not going back. And that was disrespectful to me. So I am a citizen. I'm 74. I've never been in jail or in trouble in my life. I go by the rules and regulations. But when the compliance and the city don't do their job, then you want to come back on the citizens. So I want to escalate this, which way you want to say it, as you've been an ex-judge or a judge, whatever you may be. I want to take this to another level.
I think what I'm trying to understand is that you want to take it from here to a higher authority. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not in a position to give you legal advice because that's not what I do. You need to talk to your own attorney about that. But you can appeal essentially to the circuit.
I have an attorney, but I don't want to waste my money.
But you can appeal it to the circuit court if you wish to do so.
Well, first of all, I want to go through the city, the people higher up in the city first. Okay, which I have talked to a lady, and she came out to the property, and she said, Mr. James, I see what's going on. But evidently, she dropped it. Then I called the other day, and another lady just called me a couple of days ago to hire up, and I'm going to try to talk to her. But I think what you did, not you in person, I'm not saying you guys, the city has not did their job. The reason why I came here is because my tenant got in an argument with the...
Let me just ask you, you still have that tenant?
No.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I just wanted to...
The tenant got there was a lady next door. So the tenant was quiet guy. He got in, and then she called the city on me.
Okay.
And 5, 6, 10 years later, before, it was like that. The city, the compliance people didn't do their job. So now when they compile it now, after all has been done, then now the city ready to come out to fine people. It's not right. If you did your job in the beginning, 5, 6, 7 years ago, just like when I lived over there, I'm going to bring this back up because you said you didn't want to hear it. When I lived over there...
Well, let me just clarify. What I can't do is hear issues that have been decided in the past, but I get your point. Let me just ask...
Let me show you.
Hold on just a second. I want to just understand the status of the property. So the city's position, there's existing outside storage, right? Is that right? Is that right, Pat?
The 4734-1A1?
Yeah.
That was complied on July 10th.
That's complied, okay.
But it was out of compliance for 119 days.
The two that are not complied in the city's appearance is this landscaping and the exterior walls, right? So it's not that the exterior walls need repaired, it's that they got to be cleaned. Is that right?
No, there's one. Can you go through keep going through the pictures? Keep going. Can you zoom in on that pillar on the left-hand side, at the top of that pillar?
Is it where it connects to the overhang,
yes.
To the roof?
And you can see the damage of it.
Where?
Is it there,
yeah, scroll
or is
to
it
the
other
left,
side?
right there.
Right where?
Right on top of that pillar.
What is the orange thing there?
Thank you.
You need to go back to the microphone. They can't pick you up. All right, so the two outstanding things is...
And also, if you zoom out again on that picture,
yeah,
to the right, you see the white part above the roof, the wall above the roof that needs to be cleaned
The wall above the roof.
on the carport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
See, that's why I want to go higher. You see that right there? I haven't got to the painting yet, but you see that right? You don't see no rotten boards, and I guarantee
I'm sorry, I
you,
didn't pick it up. I don't see any what?
you don't see no rotten boards, and if you go in that area, you see a lot of stuff way worse than mine. But because the lady called on me, and the city didn't do their job, then now you coming at me. And I'd rather, you know what I'm telling you? I'm being honest, I'd rather fucking die before I let the city screw me like this. And I've been a good citizen. I'd rather do that because you are not being fair. If the compliance would did their job over the course of these many years, when my tenant was staying there, he did all that stuff. I admit it. He still had all that stuff over there. But the city was compliant. I got a smile. When the city did their job, I wouldn't have had this problem. When I was living over there, the city did their job. The compliance did their job. But since I left, y'all dropped the ball. And that's not fair. And that's why I want to take it to the next level.
Well, again, it's not my position to tell you what to do with
Well,
your
who do I
case.
go to?
Just a minute. Let me just finish. There really isn't internally anybody. You can appeal to the courts. That's how it works. If you try to go in through the bureaucracy, I suppose you can talk to whoever you want. That's your prerogative. But I think if you're going to be looking for some sort of remedy by doing that, I don't think that's going to be very successful.
Well, I know it ain't going to be. But see, that's my right. I know it ain't going to be.
I know.
I know the city.
You can talk to.
I know the city going to do whatever thing to pay for everything y'all building. Y'all taking citizens' money. I know that for a fact. Because that should not have been done. That should not have been done. If the compliance would did their job, and I went down there and I called weeks ago, I went down there to the city and called people, couldn't even get no answer. They didn't call me back. And you can go and ask the people that's working down there. I've been down there several times in the last month.
Let me ask you a question. How long would it take you to remove the outside storage?
What outside
That's
storage?
done.
That's done.
That's done.
Damn.
I keep getting the wrong one. All right. So, how long would it take to take care of the ground cover?
Well, I took care of the ground cover that's on the property itself. If you can see, can you go down?
No, it's the swale.
You got to do the swale. The
I
swale.
got you.
All right. And the other one is this roof thing, right?
That is no rotten boards. That's nitpicking, sir.
Well,
let me tell you something. I don't want to throw nobody under the bus. I don't want to throw my neighbors under the bus. That shit is raggedy over there. Even the lady that came out said, Mr. James, I see what you're talking about. The next door neighbor right to me, grass showed out. I bet they didn't get no fines or nothing.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grant you a little more time on the ground cover and the fascia. I'll grant you additional.
My point. What's wrong with the facial?
You have to clean.
You act like that's parkland.
It has to be cleaned, sir. That's all.
I'll grant an additional 35 days, which would be till August 27, 2026.
But let me ask you this question. Where can I get information? Because I'm taking this to the next level.
Well, I'm not in a position to. Bear with me. You asked me a question. Let me answer your question. The reality is that the appeal from here is to the courts. I don't think you want to go. You made that. You suggested to me you didn't want to go that route. Okay. I think you're talking about trying to go internally within City Hall. I suppose that's your right. You can talk to who you want. I don't know. That's not a recognized way to appeal it, but you have a right as a citizen to talk to whoever you want. So I encourage you to do that if you wish. I think you're not necessarily going to get the result you want. But I think if you really truly want to appeal the decision, it's to the courts. But you've got to deal with that. I tell you the truth. It would probably make more sense financially to resolve the case rather than hire an attorney to appeal it. But that's your determination, not mine. So I'm going to grant some additional time. I'm going to grant 35 days, which would be until August 27, 2026, and I'll suspend the fine during those period of time for those two violations. And I wish you luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a 5-minute break.
Can we take this last one?
I'm sorry.
Our next case, page 45, Inspector Ramon Oliveira, case number CE 25080004, case address 405 Southwest 25th Terrace, owner Tony Hune. This case was first heard 11/6/25 to comply by 12/11/25. There are 2 suspensions on the agenda. 4 sections complied at $50 per day, $17,350 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount.
Can you state your name for the record?
My name Tony Win.
Okay, let me hear from the city, please.
Ramon Oliveira, Code Officer for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case and address as read. The case was last heard on May 28, 2026, where Special Magistrate duty granted a 15-day extension as stay of fines for violation 47-34.1.8.1. Violation 47-34.1.8.1 complied on May 28, 2026, and was out of compliance for 131 days. The city is requesting full imposition of fines.
So the property is currently in compliance?
It is currently in compliance.
Okay, so what they're asking for, let me just tell you what they're asking me, and that they're in agreement that the property is in compliance, okay? The violations have been taken care of. The issue that you have is there are some outstanding fines that you're going to have to deal with. And now that the property is in compliance, you can apply to have those fines reduced administratively. And you can talk to staff in the back about how that's done. If you want to show me pictures that show that it's in compliance, they're already telling me it's in compliance. They're not disagreeing with you. So the case is done. But you have fines you have to deal with, and you can talk to the staff in the back about how you go through the process to try to get those reduced.
Yeah, because the contractor, they took all the money, and then they do only half, and then they gone.
Okay, listen, when you make your argument...
Special Magistrate?
Yeah.
To your left. We're going to request no fines.
All right. I'll waive the fine amount. Thank you, sir.
No fines.
No fines. Case is done.
Yeah, ready?
It's been a good day for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome. You know why? Because you waited till last, and then I didn't see you, so... Good luck, sir.
We'll take a 5-minute recess.
Yeah, let's do that.
Page 2, Inspector Malik Jones. Case number CE 26040126, case address 711 Northwest 18th Street, owner Leonard Unger, posted at property 7826, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Code Officer Malik Jones, presenting for the City of Fort Lauderdale in reference to the case that was just read in. This case was first cited on April 8, 2026 for the following violations. 18-12.A, complied. There is overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and or its swell. This is a recurring case, reference case CE 240-60680. This case will be presented to the magistrate seeking a finding of fact whether compliance is met or not. 6.5, complied. 9-280H1, complied. 9-306, complied. 9-308B, complied. The city is seeking a finding of fact for the violation of 18-12.A.
All right, I'll find that there's notice. I'll make a finding of fact that 1812A did exist. It's currently in compliance.
Next case, page 3, Inspector Edward Eason, case number CE 26060156, case address 1725 Davie Boulevard, owner Nur Yishjak of Highland Lakes, Inc., posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Good morning, Edward Easton, City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case and address as read. The property was inspected on 6/6/26, and the following violations were observed. Violation -18-12A. There's trash, rubbish, and debris on the property and swale. The violation is now complied, but is a recurring violation in case CE 2303-1033. Violation 18-4C, there are multiple derelict vehicles on the property, a Chevy van with an expired tag and a silver Mercury with an expired tag with a flat tire. The Mercury has been removed, but the Chevy van remains. Violation 47-19.4.D.8 is complied. Violation 47-20.20H. The parking facilities at the CFH zoned property are not being maintained. The asphalt is cracked and worn out with potholes. The wheel stops are discolored and striping is faded. Violation 9-280H1. The fence at the property is in disrepair and not being maintained as required. The chain link fence is leaning forward. The gates are missing proper support. The garden wall is stained and dirty. The violation is now complied. However, is a recurring violation, case CE 2303-1033. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at the property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of swale facing Southwest 18th Avenue and Southwest 11th Court of dead and missing ground cover. This is a recurring violation, case CE 2303-1033. A notice of hearing was posted to the property on 7/2/26. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 7/22/26, and the property remained in violation. The city is requesting 15 days or $100 per day for violation 18-4C, and 63 days or $100 per day for violations 47-20.20H and 9-305B. The city is also requesting a finding of fact for recurring violations 18-12A, 9-280H1, and 9-305B.
All right, let me do the finding of facts. I'll make a finding of I'll find there's notice. I'll find the sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. I'll make a finding of fact for 1812. 9305B, and is it 4720.20H is the other one?
9-280H1.
280, all right, I'll make a finding of fact for those. I'll find that 184C exists. I'll give 15 days to come into compliance for a fine of what, $100 a day? Or what?
$100 per day, yes, sir.
$100 a day. And then the other ones was what, 4720.20H?
Yes.
How many days on that?
63 days.
63 days or $100 a day.
And the 9-305B.
And 9-305 is 63 days as well, or a fine of $100 a day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ordered.
Our next case, page 6.
I'm sorry, hold on just a minute. Just a minute. Clerk is looking for clarification on which one. I think that's complied.
4719.
No, 4019 is complied, right? Okay, all right.
Next case, page 6, Inspector John Claude Noel, case number CE 26050389, case address 715 Northeast 6th Street, owner S&P Trust Holdings, LLC, posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Jean-Claude Noel for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case that was just read. This property was first inspected on 5/12/2026. Violation 2427, complied. Violation 2429, complied. Violation 4719.4C.2, there is a 2-yard dumpster on the swale and not pulled back to the property line. Violation 4720.20H, complied. Violation 9-363, complied. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on July 22nd, 2026, and the property remains in violation. The city is requesting 56 days to comply with violation 4719.4C.2, or a fine of $100 per day per violation. Your Honor, they're getting a permit to get a dumpster enclosure at that location. That's why we're giving them 56 days.
Okay. The other ones are complied, right?
Everything's complied. Correct.
63 days. Yeah. All right. I'll find that there's notice sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. The violation exists for 4719.4C.2. The respondent will be given 63 days to come into compliance or face fine of $100 a day.
Next case, Inspector Aleda Mesa, case number CE 26030968, case address 2319 Northeast 35th Drive, owner YHR Enterprises, Inc., posted at property 7326, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Code Compliance Officer Mesa, number 350 for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 26030968, address 2319 Northeast 35th Drive. An inspection of the property was conducted 3/25/26 with violations cited as follows. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior that have missing unmatched paint. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted 7/22/26, finding violation remained. The city requests as follows. 9-306, compliance within 35 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right, I'll find that there's notice sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. The violation exists. The respondent will be given 35 days to come into compliance or face a fine of $100 a day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, page 9, Inspector Aleda Mesa, case number CE 26040345, case address 2441 Bayview Drive, owner 2441 Bayview Drive, LLC, posted at property 7326, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Code Compliance Officer Mesa, number 350 for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 26040345, address 2441 Bayview Drive. An inspection of the property was conducted 4/15/26 with violations cited as follows. 18-12A, complied. 9-304B, the driveway has not been maintained in a smooth, well-graded condition as it is faded and cracked. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-306, complied. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted 7/22/26, finding violation remained. City requests as follows. 9-304B, compliance within 63 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. 9-305B, compliance within 15 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right, I'll find that there's notice sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. The violations exist for 9304B. I'll give 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 a day. For 9305B, 15 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 a day.
Your mic's off. Sorry. Next case, page 10, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 26040532, case address 1206 Northwest 19th Street, owner Level Investments, LLC. This case is being rescheduled.
Okay.
Next case, page 11, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 26050005, case address 1804 Northwest 15th Court, owner Rosa Victory Investments LLC, posted at property 71126, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This property was first inspected on May 2nd and given time to correct for the following violations. 1812A is complied, 24-27B is complied, 47-21.16A is complied, 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-363, failure to register the residential rental dwelling within the city. The free application has not been submitted or is incomplete. The city is requesting compliance within 10 days for violation 1812A and requesting 10 days for compliance and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Wait a minute. 18. The one, wait a minute, this 9-305B is outstanding, right?
9305B is outstanding.
And what are you looking for that?
9363, we're asking 10 days for I'm sorry, for 305B, we're asking for 35 days.
Okay.
363, we're asking for
10 days?
For 10 days.
Okay.
And $100 per day.
All right. I'll find that there is notice. The sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. The violations exist. 9-305B will be 35 days or $100 a day. 9-363 will be 10 days or a fine of $100 a day.
Next case, page 12, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 2605-0010, case address 1701 Northwest 15th Court, owner Jonathan Harrington, posted at property 71126, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This property was first inspected on May 2nd and given time to correct for the following violations. 24-27B, there are waste containers left roadside overnight after collection day and not pulled back to an approved location. 25-4 has been withdrawn. 9-304B, parking on the lawn, grass is prohibited. There is a vehicle parked on the grass lawn area. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. The city is requesting compliance within 10 days for violation 24-27B and 9-304B and 35 days for 9-305B, or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter.
So, Your Honor, if I could just, Ronald Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office, just briefly go over the notice provided in this case. Certified mail was sent to the owner. The certified mail number 94890090 00276659791135, sent to the property owner as listed in BCPA, Jonathan Harrington. The mailing address is the same as the property address. Also in the file, there is an affidavit of first-class mailing of the violation on July the 2nd. And finally, there is an affidavit on file dated June 13th, 2026, indicating, again, that the first-class notice was sent on July 2nd, that the property was posted on July 11th, and it was posted on 1 East Broward, the city clerk, July 8th, 2026. Would also just like to add for the record that the 3 violations as indicated by the inspector are reflected on the pictures that are being shown on the large screen to support the finding of those violations.
Can I see the pictures again, please?
And you'll also note from the record, Your Honor, as we're looking at the pictures, that the pictures were taken from the sidewalk in front of the property.
They look to be in plain view.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me just note for the record, the respondent has filed some documentation with the clerk, and I've reviewed it. There are a number of things that he's asking me to do that I don't have the authority to do, which is to issue injunction, to issue a writ of habeas corpus. That's beyond the scope of what I have the authority to do as a hearing officer. And Pat, your position is that you took these pictures from the street, is that right?
These pictures were taken by Officer Exantus. I took over this case when he left.
You took them from the street?
Yes. Oh, you can see from there it's taken from
Yeah,
the
I
street.
mean, the pictures themselves sort of demonstrate that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll find that there's notice. I'll find that the city's violations have been proven. Can you give me those dates again that you're looking for? I want to give them a little more time on the waste containers, 2427B. Can we give them?
We go 10 days for that.
Yeah, I'm going to go 15. Or a fine of what? What's the fine amount? $50 a day?
$50.
Okay. And then for 9-304B, what are you looking for in terms of time?
35 days.
35 days or a fine of $50 a day. And then for 9-305B, 35 days?
35 days.
Or a fine of $50 a day. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to file this with the clerk. You need to keep all that for this case.
Our next case, page 14, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 26050447, case address 3100 Southwest 22nd Street, owner Antonio Cuervo, posted at property 7926, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 26050447 for the property located at 3100 Southwest 22nd Street. This case was first cited on May 14, 2026 for the following violations. 18-1 is complied. There is carport storage of items, including but not limited to chairs, totes, boxes, a shop vac, buckets, and other miscellaneous items occurring at this property that is creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that the property is or may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of adjacent properties. This is a recurring violation. Refer to case number CE 230204142. This case will be presented to the special magistrate seeking a finding of fact whether or not the violation complies prior to the hearing date. 18-12A is complied. 47-39.A.1.B 6B is complied. 9-305B. The landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover on the property and on the swale. 9-306. Areas of the fascia at the rear corner of the building are in disrepair. Paint is peeling or missing, and portions of the fascia contain holes. The city is seeking a finding of fact for violation 18-1, a compliance deadline of 35 days for violations 9-305B and 9-306, or a fine of $50 per day per violation to run thereafter.
All right, I'll find that there's notice, sworn testimony of the city is uncontested that violations exist. I'll make a finding of fact of 18-1, it's in compliance, but I'll make a determination that it did exist. 9-305B, 35 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 a day. 9-306, 35 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 a day.
Our next case, page 15, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 26050470, case address 2023 Southwest 29th Avenue, numbers 1 and 2. Owner Gennaro Romano, posted at property 7926, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 26050-470 for the property located at 2023 Southwest 29th Avenue. This case was first cited on May 14, 2026 for the following violations. 47-20.20.h is complied. 47-39.A.1.B 6B. There is outdoor storage of items, including but not limited to totes, buckets, a car seat base, and other miscellaneous items on the north side of this RD-12.22 zoned property. 9-306. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. The drip line around the roof has stains. 9-363 is complied. The city is seeking a compliance deadline of 15 days for violation 47-39.A.1.B 6B and a compliance deadline of 35 days for violation 9-306, or a fine of $50 per day per violation to run thereafter.
All right, I'll find that there's notice, sworn testimony of the city is uncontested that the violation exists for 4739A1B6B. There'll be 15 days to come into compliance. For 9-306, 35 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 a day for each violation.
Next case, page 16, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 26050475, case address 1983 Southwest 28th Lane, letters A and B. Owner Heavenly Success Investments LLC, posted at property 7926, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 26050-475 for the property located at 1983 Southwest 28th Lane. This case was first cited on May 14, 2026 for the following violations. 18-1. There is roofed storage underneath the front porch consisting of items including but not limited to car seats, black plastic bags, trolleys, fishing poles, and other miscellaneous items creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that it is or may adversely affect the economic welfare of adjacent properties. 18-4C is complied. 47-39.A.1.B 9E1 is complied. 47-39.A.1.B 6B. There's outdoor storage of items including, but not limited to, totes, boxes, buckets, and other miscellaneous items on the south side of the property. Additionally, there is a cushion on the air conditioning gate on the north side of the property. 9-363. Failure to register the residential rental dwellings within the city. The free application has not been submitted or is incomplete. The city is seeking a compliance deadline of 10 days for all violations, or a fine of $100 per day per violation to run thereafter.
All right, I'm going to, there's notice, sworn testimony says uncontested that the violations exist. Each of the violations will be given 15 days to come into compliance or face a fine of $100 a day. I think with the 10 days, by the time we get the order out and stuff, it's really short.
We do?
Okay. 15.
15? Okay.
Can I just, yes, 15 for each one.
Gotcha.
Can I just go back? I just want to talk. The one that you were asking me about? Okay. All right, thanks. All right, what's next?
Our next case, page 18, Inspector Ramon Oliveira, case number CE 26050219, case address 1012 Southwest 22nd Avenue, owner BEWE 1012 Southwest 22nd Avenue LLC, posted at property 7326, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Before we start, let me just make a comment on what sort of how I see, I have a preference in some things, and you don't have to do it. You can certainly make any recommendation that you want. But for me, the 10-day deadline really needs to be something that's really serious that needs to be taken care of right away, because just the reality, it seems to me, to getting the order out and things like that, I'd rather do 15 days. It gives them a little, it makes it more likely the order will be there and all the rest. So you certainly are authorized, you can request it all you want, and, you know, I take it into consideration. Anything serious, like pool and things like that, I understand. You know, that's got to be taken care of right away. It's just that 10 days is just so short that I want to make sure they get the order. Anyway, that's my thoughts.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody just ignore me anyway. Go ahead.
we will listen to you, Magistrate.
Ramon Oliveira, Code Officer for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 260-50219 for the property located at 1012 Southwest 22nd Avenue. The case was first inspected on May 8th, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 9-305B, there are areas of dead and missing ground cover on the property and swale. 9-306, there are areas of the exterior walls and fascias that have stains and missing paint. As of a pre-hearing inspection conducted on July 15, 2026, the property is not in compliance. The city is seeking 35 days to come into compliance of Section 9-305B and 9-306, or a fine of $100 per day for each violation thereafter until compliance is met.
Okay, I'll find that there's notice sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. The violations exist for each violation. 9-305B and 9-306 will be 35 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day per violation.
Our next case, page 19, Inspector Ramon Oliveira, case number CE 26050466, case address 2497 Southwest 7th Street, owner Veltern Casimir and Malira Casimir, posted at property 7326, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Ramon Olivera, Code Officer for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 260-50466 for the property located at 2497 Southwest 7th Street. The case was first inspected on May 16, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 18-1 complied. 18-12.8 complied. 47-34.1.8.1. There are items being stored outdoors at this RS8 zone property. The items being stored outdoors include, but is not limited to, large pile of landscaping debris at the front of the property, refrigerator on the lawn, and other miscellaneous items stored at the rear of the property. 6-5 complied. 9-304B complied. As of a pre-hearing inspection conducted on July 17, 2026, the property is not in compliance. The city is seeking 35 days to come into compliance of section 47-34.1.8.1 or a fine of $100 per day thereafter until compliance is met.
What about 9-304B, 35 days for that as well?
9-304B is complied.
Complied. So the only one we have is 4734, right?
Correct.
I do wonder what happened to the chickens, but I guess they're gone.
Yes.
They've been relocated. All right, I'll find that there's notice, sworn testimony of the city is uncontested that the violation exists. The respondent will be given 35 days to come into compliance or face fine of $100 a day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 21, Inspector Mohammed Dam, case number CE 26020389, case address 1050 Southwest 29th Street, numbers 1 and 2, owner George E. Zentaya Living Trust, posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Yes.
$10.50.
Yes.
Good morning. This is Mohammed Dam, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Officer presenting case and address as read. The inspection was conducted on February 13th, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 18-4C complied. 47-34.1.A.1. There is illegal land use occurring at this RD15 property. Outdoor storage consisting of, but not limited to, tools, construction material, canopy frame, and miscellaneous item. This is a recurring violation as per case CE 24020382. 9-278E, there are hurricane shutters covering some of the windows of this occupied residential property. 9-305B, the landscape in this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas in the front lawn of dead and missing ground cover. 9-306 complied. 9-363, that the free landlord application has not been submitted or is incomplete. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on July 18, 2026. The property remains in violation. The city is requesting 10 days to comply for violations 47-34.1.A.1, 9-278E, and 9-363, and 35 days for 9-305B or a fine of $100 per day per violation thereafter.
9305B is 35?
Correct.
And what's the fine amount in each? 100? Or
$100.
All right, for 4734.1A1.
10 days.
Yeah, well, it's going to be 15. 9-363,
Okay,
15. 9-278E will be $15 or $100 a day for each of those violations. 9305B is 35 days or $100 a day.
Our next case, page 22, Inspector Mohammed Dam, case number CE 26020409, case address 1819 Southwest 21st Street, owner Krez Oyeda Investments 7 LLC, posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Mohammed Dam, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Officer presenting case and address as read. The inspection was conducted on February 19, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 47-20.20.H. The parking facility at this RD15 zone property are not properly maintained. Some section of the asphalt are missing. Required parking space stripping is faded or missing, and wheel stops are damaged and in disrepair. 9-278C. There are electrical outlets in Unit B that are in disrepair. 9-279G. The bathroom toilet in Unit B is continuously running and does not stop after flushing, resulting in constant water flow. 9-280C, the walkway at this multifamily residence is in disrepair. The pavers are broken, uneven, and stained. 9-280H1, the chain link fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. The gates are in disrepair and not properly installed. Some sections are missing, and the top bar is missing as well. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover in the front lawn, backyard, and swale. 9-307A, there are some windows in Unit B that are not secured in a tight-fitting and waterproof manner. They are not operating properly, and air wind is passing through them. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on July 18, 2026. The property remains in violation. The city is requesting 63 days to comply for all violations or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I would assume the tenant made the complaint, right?
Yes.
Okay. Have you heard from the owner of the property?
Yes, they have a paving permit, and they're already in the process of cleaning.
Okay. I'll find that there's no sworn testimony of the city is uncontested that the violation exists. For each of the violations, the respondent will be given 63 days to come into compliance or face a fine of $100 a day.
Next case, page 24, Inspector Mohammed Dayam, case number CE 26030571, case address 1800 Southwest 12th Avenue, owner Echo Hire, posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Mohammed Dam, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. The inspection was conducted on March 16, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 18-12A complied, 47-19.1.d. There are multiple canopies frame erected in the front and backyard of this occupied RS8 zone property. Car canopy is not listed as an accessory structure in this residential area in section 47-5.11 of the city ordinance. 47-34.1.a.1. There is illegal land use occurring at this RS8 zone property. Outdoor storage consisting of, but not limited to, tools, tarps, furniture, and miscellaneous item. 9-280C complied. 9-280H1 complied. 9-304B. There are trailers parked in the grass. The driveway on this property is in disrepair. The gravel is worn out with weed, grass growing through it. 9-305B, the landscaping of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas on the swales, front lawn, and backyard of dead and missing ground cover. 9-306 complied. A pre-hearing inspection is conducted in July 18, 2026. The property remains in violation. The city is requesting 15 days to comply for violation 47-34.1.a.1 and 35 days for all remaining violations or a fine of $100 per day per violation thereafter.
All right, I'll find that there's notice, sworn testimony of the city is uncontested that violation exists. For violation 47-34.1A1, it'll be 15 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 a day. For the remaining violations, I'm sorry, what was it, 63?
35.
35 for the remaining violations or a fine of $100 a day.
$50.
$50 a day. Did you want...
Huh?
Use,
My bad, $50 is
all right, but let me go back. For the 15-day violation, you want 100 or you want 50 for that?
50.
Okay, all right. So let me try this again. 47-34-1A1, 15 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 a day. For the remaining violations, 35 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 a day.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 25, Inspector Mohammed Dayam, Brian Wilkerson, presenting case number CE 26050784, case address 1831 Southwest 24th Street, owner Victorious LLC, posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
This is Brian Roxon on behalf of Code Officer Mohammed Dayam, presenting case and address as read. The inspection was conducted on May 23, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas on the swale and the front lawn of dead and missing ground cover. 9-363 complied. 24-7B complied. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on July 22, 2026. The property remains in violation. The city is requesting 35 days to comply for violation 9-305B, or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right, I'll find that there's notice, sworn testimony of the city is uncontested, that the violation exists. The respondent will be given 35 days to come into compliance or face a fine of $100 a day.
Thank you.
Yay.
Next case, also page 25, Inspector Mohammed Dam, case number CE 26060169, case address 2112 Southwest 12th Terrace, owner Elizabeth Ann Glenn, posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Mohammed Dam, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. The inspection was conducted in June 5th, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 18-12A, there is overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris in this property and its swale. This is a recurring violation as per case CE 24080778. 9-278E, complied. 9-304B, the driveway at this property is not being maintained as required. The concrete is dirty and stained. This is a recurring violation as per case CE 24080778. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior such as the fascia that have stains and missing peeling paint. This is a recurring violation as per case CE 24080778. 9-308B, there are stains, dirt, or another element which is not permanent on the roof. This is a recurring violation as per case CE 24080778. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on July 18, 2026. The property is in compliance. The city is requesting finding of fact for all recurring violations.
All right, I'll find that there's notice, sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. I'll find that the property is currently in compliance, but I will make a finding of fact for the violations that were enumerated as having previously existed.
Next case, page 26, Inspector Mohammed Dam, case number CE 26060172, case address 1006 Southwest 20th Street, owner Christine Anna Leonardo, posted at property 7226, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Mohammed Dam, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. The inspection was conducted in June 13, 2026, and the following violations were observed. 18-12A, there's trash, rubbish, and debris on this property. This is a repeat violation as per case CE 24030-659, and as fines will begin immediately. 18-4C, complied. 9-304B, the driveway is not being maintained as required. The asphalt is uneven, worn out with grass weed growing through it. The concrete is dirty and stained. This is a repeat violation as per case CE 24030-659, and fines will begin immediately. 9-305, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas on the front lawn of a dead and missing ground cover. This is a repeat violation as per case CE 24030-659. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia and soffits, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. This is a repeat violation as per case CE 24030-659. And as fines will begin immediately. 9-308B, there is a black tarp or another element which is not permitted on the roof. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on July 22, 2026. The property remains in violation. The city is requesting the following. For 18-12A, the city is requesting $600 for the 6 inspections that were conducted on June 5th, June 6th, June 17th, 18th, and for fines to continue to accrue.
At what amount? I know, is it $100 a day or?
$100 per inspection, total of
No,
$600.
I mean, but to accrue, it's not in compliance, right?
It's not.
So it's $100 a day from?
$100 every inspection I'm going to conduct moving forward.
Okay, so basically it's not a per diem, it's going to be whenever you get a chance to go out and take a look at it.
For that violation, yes.
Okay, got it.
Mohammed, can you repeat those dates, please?
Yes. For 18, the dates will be June 5th, June 6th, June 17th, July 1st, and July 18th.
Okay.
Magistrate,
Yes.
Supervisor Brown, City, Fort Lauderdale. So you're asking for the days that you inspected and then moving forward a daily fine?
No, I think he's saying for the days that and correct me if I'm wrong, the days that he inspected, but then it'll be $100 a day for each day he goes out and observes it again, I think is what he's telling me.
No, we're asking for,
You're looking for a per diem?
yes, correct. Prior to the hearing, we were asking for the days that he went out there, and then afterwards for a daily fine until it is in
Yeah.
compliance.
I actually kind of thought that was the way it would go.
Yeah, that's how we, yeah.
Okay.
So continue?
Yeah, well, look, first of all, I'll find that there's notice in the sworn testimony that says uncontested. Let me just deal with 1812A. I'll find that you've been out there 6 times at $100 a day for that $600 fine, and then there'll be a per diem fine of $100 a day until it comes into compliance.
We only have 5 days.
Hmm?
You said you've been out 6 days. I only have 5 dates, though. June 5th, June 6th.
June 6th, June 17th, June 1st, June 18th, and June 22nd.
Okay, June 22nd. Got it.
All right. For 9-304B, 9-305B, and 9-306, the city is requesting to impose $4,800 for each violation, totaling $14,400, and for fines to continue to accrue.
How did we get that number again?
Yeah. What is
It's a repeat.
Just take me to 9-304B.
It's a repeat violation.
Right.
So it's from the violation was discovered June 13th, 2026, up to today. It's 48 days.
Okay.
So it's $4,800 per violation, and for fines to continue to accrue.
Have you heard from them at all?
Yes, they were here today, and they start already cleaning up and addressing the violations.
Okay.
So that's for 9304B, 5B. Okay.
All right. 9-304B, 9-305B,
And 9-306.
9306. It's a reoccurring violation.
It's a repeat.
For what day?
For them, it's a repeat
You
violation.
know, I know, but which date did it start?
It started on June 13th,
June
2026.
13th, and it's continuing, right?
Correct.
It's $100 a day?
Correct.
Okay, noted for the record. So ordered.
So was 9308 compliant?
What do we do for 9-308B, the TARP?
The TARP. So the city is requesting 63 days to comply for 9-308B, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
50?
50, correct.
All right. 9-308B, I'll find that it exists. The respondent will be given 63 days to come into compliance, or just a minute, or 63 days to come into compliance or face fine of $50 a day. If you want to go over it again, I'll be comfortable with that. If the clerks...
Do you want me to go over again?
Maybe
Okay.
you guys can read out what you understand it to be, and then if that's not correct.
Special Magistrate, I think for clarity, we should let the officer go again so we can have a clean record.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. I'm going to read the case again from the beginning.
No, you don't need to do that. No.
this?
We're just trying to clarify.
Okay. For 18-4C, complied.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right. For 18-12A, the city is requesting $600 for the 6 inspections that were conducted in June 5th, June 6th,
All right.
June 17th.
I don't mean to make this difficult, but maybe one way is that if it's ongoing, just recognize that it's running from, what was the date you gave me, June 17th, I think, or something?
13th.
13th. I mean, it'll be there. It's just say that the fine will begin running at $100 a day at June 13th, and we can figure it out.
So the reason we will ask for some violations for specific dates is in the event that it possibly complied in between those days, just to be extra fair.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Special Magistrate, if you're comfortable with it, we can say that it was out of compliance between day A and day B, this amount of time. So 6 days out of compliance between, let's say, June 1st to June 30th, without having to specify the days. But for the record, the days will be in the actual order to make it easier. So we don't have to read every day if you're comfortable with that.
No, it's not so much, okay.
I get what you're saying. I do.
Yeah, but I also understand what you're saying, that you want specific days because it might have been in compliance.
Like a vehicle, it could have been moved
Yeah, right,
in
it could have
between.
been moved and come
Yeah,
back.
versus the
All right, I
exterior of the
understand
property.
that. And what are we dealing with here? Debris? Okay.
I know.
All right, go ahead and read it the way that you did. Let's at least dispense with 1812A. 600 days. I'm sorry.
600 days?
$600. And then $100 per day going forward.
Correct.
Okay, and then I'll let you do the rest.
All right. For 9-304B, 9-305B, and 9-306, the city is requesting to impose $4,800 for each violation, totaling $14,400, and for fines to continue to accrue.
All right, so ordered.
The city is requesting 63 days to comply for violation 9-308B, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Next case, Inspector Mohammed Dam, case number CE 26060451, case address 938 Southwest 18th Court, owner Bart Vanderhorst, posted at property 7226, posted at Wendy's Broward 7826.
Mohammed Dam, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. The inspection was conducted in June 13th, 2026, and the following violation was observed. 47-2.2.Q.3. There is a visibility obstruction for motorists of the side triangle at this RS8 zone corner residential property within the 25 feet permitted for a street intersection and above the height of 2.5 feet permitted by the ULDR section 47-35.1. There are hedges measuring approximately 45 inches in height located at the corner of Southwest 10th Avenue and Southwest 18th Court. This is a recurring violation as per case CE 25-100-120. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on July 8, 2026. The property is in compliance. The city is requesting finding of fact for the cited violation.
All right, I'll find that there's notice. I'll find that the violation did exist, but is currently in compliance. I'll make a finding of fact as to that matter.
Next case, page 28, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 26060668, case address 2401 Cat K Lane, owner Kevin Michael Wolfer, posted at property 7926, posted at Wendy's Broward 7826.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 26060668 for the property located at 2401 Cat K Lane. This case was first cited on June 18, 2026 for the following violations. 18-12A. There is overgrowth on this property and its swale. This is a recurring violation. Refer to case number CE 25120082. This case will be presented to the special magistrate seeking a finding of fact whether or not the violation complies prior to the hearing date. 9-305B. The landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. This is a repeat violation. Refer to case number CE 22100-564. Fines shall begin to accrue immediately. Fines shall run daily until compliance is met. This case will be presented to the special magistrate whether or not compliance is met to impose the fines accrued. For violation 18-12A, the city is seeking a compliance deadline of 15 days or a fine of $50 per day to run thereafter. For violation 9-305B, the city is seeking a fine of $3,500 at the rate of $100 per day for 35 days, and for the fines to continue to accrue.
Have you heard from them?
For this specific case, no. I've spoken to him for multiple other cases that he's been cited for.
Okay, interesting. All right, I'll find that there's notice, sworn testimony of the city is uncontested that the violation exists. For 18-12A, the respondent will be given 15 days to come into compliance or face a fine of $50 a day. For 9-305B, I'll recognize that the property has been observed to be out of violation for a fine amount of $3,500.
Yes.
And then it's accruing on a daily basis, right?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
$100 a day?
$100 per day,
Okay,
yes.
so ordered.
Our next case, page 28, this case is being rescheduled. Case number CE 26020-465.
Okay.
Next case, page 29, Inspector Wanda Aquavella, case number CE 2603-1278, Case address 1035 Northwest 5th Avenue, number 2, owner Ville St. Louis, posted at property 7626, posted at 1 East Broward 7826.
Wanda Aquavella for the city. Case and address is read. The property is operating a vacation rental without the required vacation rental certificate from the city of Fort Lauderdale. The violation continued beyond the 24-hour compliance period provided in this civil citation, reference case number CE 2603-1202. This violation is considered transient in nature. Therefore, this case will be presented to the special magistrate regardless of compliance prior to the scheduled hearing date. The city is requesting the imposition of a fine in the amount of $3,000 for each day the property has been found to be out of compliance. The dates are 3/30/26, 3/31/26, and 4/1/26. As of 7/1/26, the case has not been complied.
All right, I'll find that there's notice, the sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. So you want a finding of fact, you want a determination that that the $1,000 fine existed for 3 days, right?
Yeah, but it's continuing.
But it's continuing
Yes,
at
sir.
$1,000 a day.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard from them?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, so ordered.
Next case, page 30, Inspector Evan Oaks, case number CE 26050953, case address 912 Northwest 13th Street. This case is now closed.
Okay. Before we go on, what do you guys want to do about lunch? Do you want to keep going? Do you guys want to eat? I can keep going. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Page 30. No, we heard that one. We heard that one. Okay, sorry. Next case, page 33. Inspector Bernstein Sainberg, case number CE 24030623, case address 1620 West State Road 84. Owner William C. Morris, post number 36, American Legion, Inc. This case was first heard 8/29/24 to comply by 1/30/25. There are 6 suspensions noted on the agenda. 1 section not complied at $100 per day, $17,900 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount and the fines continue to accrue. This was in order to reappear.
All right, I'll find that there's notice. Yes. Is anybody? I find that there's notice. I find that there's notice in accordance with Massey versus Charlotte County. Sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. The order hasn't been complied with. I'll impose the fine.
American Legion.
Would you like the code officer to present?
Yeah, we kind of gone back and forth on this.
Yes. So
is there a standard procedure we're doing on this, or is it changed with the?
no, they're just asking because this is a Amy Brown co-compliance. Amy Brown, City of Fort Lauderdale. Sorry. I think they're just asking because there's been a lot of back and forth on this property. If you want, the code officer can present
please.
for it.
Yeah, please do it.
There has been no contact since the last hearing from the property.
Let me just hear from the code officer. Actually, they're both of them. There's 2 of them, right?
Yeah, there are 2.
Let's do them both.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 24030623 for the property located at 1620 West State Road 84. This case was last heard on May 12, 2026, where a 72-day extension was granted. The following violation remains: 47-34.1.A.1. Notice of hearing was posted on the property, and the city is requesting a full imposition of the fines.
Have you heard from them? No, you just told me that. You just
No,
said,
sir.
All right. I'll find that there is notice in accordance with Massey versus Charlotte County. I'll accept the sworn testimony of the city. The order has been complied with, and I'll certify the fine.
Next case, also page 33, Inspector Bernstein Sainberg, Matthew Flesher presenting case number CE 24030628, case address 1620 West State Road 84, owner William C. Morris, post number 36, American Legion, Inc. This case was first heard 9/26/24 to comply by 1/30/25. There are six suspensions noted on the agenda. 1 section not complied at $100 per day, $17,900 accrued. City is requesting the full amount and the fines continue to accrue.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 240300628 for the property located at 1620 West State Road 84. This case was last heard on May 12, 2026, where a 72-day extension was granted. The following violation remains: 47-34.1.A.1. The notice of hearing was posted on the property, and the city is requesting the full imposition of the fines.
All right, I'll find that there's notice in accordance with Massey versus Charlotte County. Sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. The order has been complied with, thus certify the fine. Can we just take a break? For just 1 second.
Sure.
And as you know, maybe you've seen some of the code officers come forward that there's either fines or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, some come up. Okay, all right.
I mean, unless you'd like them.
No. I mean, I
They
think,
can ask
I'm just trying to think, there's no legal issue that I can think of. I'm kind of asking. I don't think so.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, with nobody here, unless
Right.
they have an update, and hopefully they would stand up and make that update.
Yeah. Okay.
With the folks not here.
Right, yeah. All right.
Our next case, page 34, Inspector Malik Jones, case number CE 251000310, case address 1301 Northwest 1st Avenue, owner Mark Evans Joseph and Carmelita Pierre. This case was first heard 2/26/26, complied by 3/8/26 and 4/30/26. One section complied at $50 per day, $2,700 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
All right, I'll find that there's notice in accordance with Massey versus Charlotte County. Sworn testimony of the city is uncontested that the property is currently in compliance, but there's an outstanding fine of $2,700, and I'll certify that fine.
Next case, page 35, Inspector Malik Jones, case number CE 251000312, case address 1139 Northwest 6th Avenue, owner Vordring Belsi. This case was first heard 2/26/26 to comply by 3/8/26 and 5/28/26. One section not complied at $50 per day, $2,800 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
All right, I'll find that there's notice in accordance with Massey versus Charlotte County. Sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. The order has been complied with. Thus certify the fine.
Next case, page 37, Inspector Mohammed Dam, case number CE 251200583, case address 1417 Southwest 33rd Court, owner Zaga LLC. This case was first heard 2/26/26 to comply by 3/26/26 and 4/30/26. One section not complied at $100 per day, $8,400 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
I'll find that there's notice in accordance with Massey versus Charlotte County. Sworn testimony of the city is uncontested. The order has been complied with. Thus certified.
Next case, page 39, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 25070442, case address 1067 Iroquois Avenue, owner Miami Gardens 8 LLC. This case was first heard 1/29/26 to comply by 2/13/26 and 3/26/26. Five sections complied at $100 per day, $46,800 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount.
So this property is in compliance, is that right? Is that what I'm seeing?
Correct.
Okay.
Rachel?
All right, I'll find that there's notice in accordance with Massey versus Charlotte County, accept the sworn testimony of the city that the property is currently in compliance, but there are outstanding fine amounts, and I'll certify those fines.
Next case, page 40, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 26020037, case address 610 Carolina Avenue, owner Islanders Homes Investment LLC. This case was first heard 3/26/26 to comply by 6/25/26. One section not complied at $100 per day, $2,800 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
I find that there's notice in accordance with Massey versus...
Special Magistrate?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before you, okay. Inspector Rachel Moore presenting for the case as read. This case was first presented to the Special Magistrate on 3/26/26, and at that hearing, Special Magistrate Flynn ordered 91 days to comply or $100 per day thereafter. And as a pre-hearing inspection dated 7/22, the property does remain out of compliance. However, at this time, the city is requesting a 15-day extension with a stay of fines, please.
Okay. Pursuant to city request, I will grant a 15-day extension, which would be August 7th, and I'll suspend the fines during that period of time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 26010116, case address 2840 Southwest 3rd Court, owner FKHSFR LP in care of First Key Homes LLC. This case was first heard 3/26/26, complied by 4/30/26. 3 sections not complied at $100 per day, $25,200 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
I'll find that there's notice in accordance with Massey versus Charlotte County. Sworn testimony of the city's uncontested. The order has been complied with. I'll certify the fine.
Our next case, page 44, Inspector Ramon Oliveira, case number CE 250300212, case address 138 Southwest 21st Way, owner Gil Perez. This case is being rescheduled.
Okay.
Next case, page 46, Inspector Ramon Oliveira, case number CE 25080007, case address 2521 Southwest 3rd Street, owner Patricia J. Smith Pearsall. This case was first heard 1/29/26 to comply by 3/26/26. There is one suspension from 4/30/26 to 6/25/26. 2 sections complied at $50 per day, $3,300 accrued, and the city is requesting no fines.
All right, I'll find that there's notice in accordance with Massey versus Charlotte County. I'll find that the property is currently in compliance, and I'll impose the recommendation of the city that there be no fines in this case.
Our next case, page 48, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 25100309, case address 2641 Northwest 16th Court, owner Alpheus Davis and Anthony Davis. This case was first heard 3/26/26 and complied by 7/23/26. 3 sections not complied at $50 per day. Fine starts 7/24/26, and this was in order to reappear.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on March 26th, and the magistrate ordered all violations to be complied by July 23rd or incur a fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter. A pre-hearing inspection conducted on July 22nd revealed that the driveway has been completed, but the garage door and building exterior have not. The city is requesting a 63-day extension with a stay of fines for that period.
All right, I will extend the time for compliance for 63 days, which would take us to September 24th, and I'll suspend the fines during that period of time. Do you want an order to reappear?
I don't think we need it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You said no order to reappear.
The city is requesting to enter pages 50 and 51 into today's hearing as an exhibit. It is the city's list of complied, closed, withdrawn, and rescheduled cases.
Okay, that was so ordered.
And this concludes the special magistrate hearing agenda for Thursday, July 23rd, 2026.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks.